Hello, everybody, and welcome to Somebody's Heroes. We are back with the Fatemakers. I'm Eric of the Dungeon Master.
I am Matt, and I'm playing Tommy Rok'zhen.
I'm Mika, and I play Lemon Little Tart.
I'm Abbigail playing Aina.
Aina, you've been here for about a week. You've gotten the lay of the town a little bit. You went shopping just a couple days ago, picked out a brand new battle dress, so you feel a little more comfortable, and this is your first time out on the city by yourself. Unless you wanted to bring Jedediah with you, but otherwise you're by yourself.
I don't want to bring Jedediah. Jedediah's gonna die if I bring Jedediah anywhere.
He brings you a cup of coffee on your way out and just, here you go, princess, and does this quarter bow because he heard you were a princess.
Thank you. You don't have to do that. But thank you.
Oh well. And he just kind of goes back to cooking muffins. Well, he's cooking well.
He's improved so much.
He's following the picture book. As you exit and you go out into the alleyway for this coffee shop in the middle of nowhere, and head on into the market district. It's a nice casual walk. Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Aina's definitely, because this is her first time out alone, is very kind of skittish.
Give advantage,
because
you're fine.
The past week has been a lot. Okay, so perception?
Mm-hmm. With advantage.
Okay, that's better. 14.
A what? 14?
14. First
Okay.
it was a 9.
You've seen some weird things. First day here, you were attacked by a time dragon. A couple of days after that, you ran into a monster in the middle of the city, like the core of the city. A couple of days ago, Tommy just got attacked and pierced by an Arcanotech crystal, and now this morning he just mentioned something about hearing a voice. But you could think nothing could get weirder in this town. Except today, you happen to see, perched atop a light pole, something that feels familiar, but doesn't look familiar. What does Draven look like now?
A small, tiny pseudo-dragon form. Long, cylindrical, or slender. But what was once grays and whites and golds, some silvers, is now almost a rocky obsidian. And within the gaps of his scales, you see almost a burning orange ember glow. Almost becoming more intense as he breathes. Bright orange eyes, stoic but scanning.
What makes you feel familiar is you lock eyes with this little pseudo dragon, and you get this sense of calm wash over you that feels familiar, and then it darts off and flies away down another alley, eventually into a building.
She's absolutely going to pursue that pseudo-dragon, because even though her brain is saying this is impossible, this isn't logical, that familiarity is something that is a brand new feeling she's had in the past week, is something familiar. And so she is clinging to that like a lifeline, and any survival instinct out the door for that. So she's absolutely going to be chasing kind of desperately after that pseudo-dragon.
As you chase the pseudo-dragon down an alley onto another main street, it darts into this bookstore. As you enter the bookstore, there is no one behind the counter. This bookstore is filled with historical ledgers and mythos and magic and all kinds of stuff. If you wanted to pick up a spell scroll, it'd be a great place to do it. You didn't know this was here in the slums. You guys hadn't gone shopping down here. You went into the market district. There are some black market spell scrolls, a lot of black market stuff in the back here, but you do see another sense of familiarity as you lock eyes with where the pseudo-dragon perched itself. Omega, go ahead and describe what Raphael looks like and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Omega Jones, also known as Crit across all social media channels with pronouns he and they. What Aina sees, to try to take a little bit of those reins, this individual is looking down currently at what seems to be a scroll of some sort. But from their side profile, you see, again, dark skin, caramel skin. There's still a level of perfection when it comes to his literal physical form, as an ASMR doesn't age, even though it's been a long time. You can see slight crow's feet up on the edges of his eyes. But this individual wears a long, flowing white and gold robe, hitting the ground, almost splaying out, almost unnaturally so as well. It seems to just almost flow like the wind or like water at the edge. A matching cloak sit upon their bald head, flowing down again, matching the vibe of his current robe. There's a large belt around his waist that has a central golden apparatus of some sort. It almost looks like it could be a pentacle. Not really sure. Upon his hands, he wears golden finger jewelry, chains that wrap up to his wrist as well. But as you look into eyes, you see a bright golden eye, but there is a flicker every now and then of what seems to be like an orange or a red, almost like a fire that is forever sitting within. That matches the various cracks along his skin that seem to be glowing that same ember that the pseudo-dragon that you saw also emanated. A fire that can't be put out. Never has been. But as he looks at this scroll, you would see his head suddenly shoot up as some type of unheard communication between this dragon, pseudo-dragon, and him. There's a long pause. Does not look towards the front entrance.
There would be kind of you would hear just like a soft gasp, and then a few moments, and just almost a whisper of, Raph?
His mouth almost tugs upward in a grin. Soft, but still apparent. I have not heard that name said in that tone for thousands of years. So if this is my brain deciding to play tricks, now is not the time. You see him close the scroll and place it back onto its place of destination upon this shelf. And we can see that he wants to turn his head, but he doesn't.
Raph would hear a couple of tentative steps being taken, as recently during an encounter with a monster underneath the city had shown her visions and messed with her mind a little as well. And so she's being a little cautious as she walks forward.
If you take one more step and you are not who I believe you are, it will not end well for you. That's when he turns his head. Eyes widening. A look of shock and lack of acceptance.
What you see for Aina since the last time you saw her is that, like, kept hair is just down, unkept. The pesky piece of hair that's always in her face, she doesn't even bother to move it. Her circlet is still stubbornly on her forehead, as it cannot be removed based on the way her horns have grown in. And her outfit is more practical. It has aspects, you could tell that some of the fabric that is on it has been saved from that dress that she stubbornly wore to on that research mission, that pink dress. But it has some shoulder armor, and she just looks a little more, she looks just a little more weak, skittish, like her eyes are constantly looking around. And speaking of her eyes, her left one is now just a black starry void that seems to shift it on its own as a starscape when she moves.
How is this possible?
I could ask you the same thing.
You see, as he takes in Aina's countenance, the way that they are dressed, the circlet that can't be removed, the ridges of the horns now staring intently into this eye, this starscape of an eye. You have not aged a day, and yet everything is different.
Everything has only been about a week for me. What about you? What happened?
You, in the past, don't remember, very rarely, the most recent clearly being when a certain meteor dropped. But Raphael doesn't really get shocked. He doesn't show that. So when his eyes widen and his brows furrow, you see that he is confused. It has been over 2,000 years.
How did you survive?
You see that he turns, his hands outstretched, grabbing something that will be very similar, but different. A long, white staff. But instead of it having that white gold, shifting lines within it that glow. That orange-red glow that appears between Draven and Raphael sits within the staff. You see him grab it and almost use it to hold himself up. Not that he really needs it, but he's old. And he takes a step forward. You would be surprised what my kind can do. Also, it seems that whatever set within that media only heightened my own natural potential. It hurt, you know, being burned alive, and yet no death came. I'm used to warmth, radiant sense within me. This was different. But all things happen for one reason or another. He takes another step forward.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. 1 second I was there and the next I was here.
You were touched by the anomaly. I felt it as I was being crushed to what the media thought was death. I could feel time. It fluctuated. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know why. But seeing you now, it makes sense. And he takes one more step closer, and now he is hovering above you. Even though, again, seems to walk with a cane, he is still 6'3.5".
Yeah, she's a short gal. She's like 5'4", so there's definitely a good height difference between the two. You can tell she's struggling to meet your eyes, but she is still forcing herself to and just searching them as she's just processing all of this, and her face falls. So, it's really gone?
All things go. But that just means it gives way for something new. And this, you see him look around, is a lot of new. Electricity in the palm of your hand, and wires. It's why I'm even here in the first place. I don't do this. You see him look around, kind of gesturing to the advancements of this world. Little bird. I think he knows, and he was holding off to, again, you can write off an illusion, you can write off, someone messing with your mind, but at this point, with his age, he just knows. And he will hold you close. Not too close to make it seem like you can't get away, but
no, yeah.
Just making sure it's real.
She's definitely going. I think she just kind of slumps into the hug and hugs him back. And just kind of clings to his cloak on the back, is just oh my gosh, he's actually here. And
when in the past there has been any form of physical connection, be it a hug or a slap on the head or whatever it may be between these two, it was always a very comforting warmth, and it still is comforting, but there is an intensity beneath it all. Again, a fire that can't be put out. Funnily enough, you don't feel any shock, no wind. That doesn't seem to be his element anymore. But he pulls back. I have many questions, but unfortunately I am here on behalf of the Raven Court.
I'm so sorry. I don't know who.
Do not fret. I should not have spoken regardless. I am doing some research. This world, this city, seems to be fluctuating its power. And they can't do it, so... Well, perhaps they could. Consider this a favor to a friend.
I know you've seen these power fluctuations a little bit yourself.
There was a blackout. Well, I think it was just in the docks. When I appeared. But I thought that was my fault. The people I'm with, I think, are investigating this. We had gone to the core of this city, there was a... I don't know how to explain it. There was a wall that came from another world, it seemed like. But we opened it, and I was able to get some notes from inside if you'd like to take them. I don't know if it helps, but what came from that spot were a lot of those crystals grew that I believe they say they use to power the city. So it seems like whatever's stuck in there, which is incredibly hostile, is what's used to power the city.
Anything that you may have. I know this is potentially not the time to be asking for favors, considering we just met after a long time. But anything you have would be useful.
Of course. And she'll reach into her bag, and she's already read the notes and taken her own copy of the notes, so she will give the original copy to Raph to give to his allies.
And he'll take them, and as he takes them, he seems to flick his hand and they disappear.
Huh.
What?
That's new.
Many things are new. Has it really only been so little time for you?
It seems that way. I can't really control it, but I feel like I'm just hanging on here by a thread. And while she's talking, and like anytime it seems like she's thinking very hard or any height in her emotions, she appears to almost, the only way I can describe it is like a glitch, where it seems like she like glitches out for a second.
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check as you see one of these glitches happen, Raphael.
Sure. Can Draven help me?
Draven can absolutely help.
Draven, have you ever been tackled by a cat?
Many, many times.
Great.
Including very heavy ones.
You have seen Draven stay in back, watching, not scared, yes, curious, but more so making sure it's okay as far as Raphael says. And the minute there seems to be joking or a letdown of guard, the little buddy that you have known, or you used to know, he looks different, but there's still a lot with him. And he immediately tackles, gets upon your shoulder, and just like snuggles in. And that for me will be Arcana 27.
27. Love it. The same energy that you detect as this temporal fluctuation happens and you see her glitch, you can tell it is almost identical to the magic you saw at the ruins, and that you've detected a couple of times over the past but never dared investigate.
And you would see as you glitch a moment, his head like shifts and like stares intently for a moment, and you would see almost quite literally his eyes go ablaze, even just for a blip, as he seems to like study and almost look within. It would seem this temporal power sits within you.
I have to be able to learn how to control it. The first thing that happened when I got here was an attack from a draconic entity that seemed temporal in nature. And I accidentally brought someone with me when we went somewhere else. It didn't seem like it was from this time.
Okay, so Tommy, it's been 3 days now. You've been having some rough sleep. But tonight, as you managed to get to sleeping in the middle of a REM cycle. Thank God for REM cycles. Things aren't all that they appear as before you are dreaming, but I'm going to hand over this dream to our guest right now.
It's complete darkness. And you feel this persistent twitching in your skull before this sharp sensation, almost like pointed fingernails piercing the flesh of your brain. You blink a couple of times, and your eyes feel like they open. And what you see is this horizon line. Picturesque, orange, yellow, pink, sunrise at the start of a new day. But then you hear this voice. At first you can't hear what it's saying, but it bleeds in nice and slowly, almost like smoke curling in your lungs, before you notice that you're choking. This pale blue smoke appears before you, and you see this figure that doesn't really have form to begin with. And you hear their voice first. Ah, the sun. 2,000 years buried in the dark. No sensation, shape, sound. And then you fall. That jump, all of that fire. Naive bravado. You hit that mech like you thought you were invincible. A piece of me now embedded in you. Lodged behind your ribs, nestled in your spine, and curling deep within your mind, Tommy. Knock knock, is anyone home?
Is he still having this choking feeling, or like can he speak in this moment?
You'd have to try.
Well, he is going to try to speak, probably trying to, well, before speaking would come the inhale, which even if successful, probably hurts like a son of a bitch.
It does. It burns deep within your lungs, like you have just breathed in ash. But as soon as you kind of feel that burning sensation within your chest, it dissipates.
Sort of recoiling from it, having that moment, just like getting spine deep is definitely not consent. Did not consent that deep. Alright, okay, well, aside from motherfucker, what should I call you?
Well, you can call me whatever you want. It's not really going to matter, Tommy. And you see this figure now take form. You see this pale, femme-presenting figure. This, like, almost scarily long, dead straight, dark hair that hangs to their waist. They're dressed very simply, just wearing a cloak that is it's just a muddy brown color, but their eyes are completely pupilless. As they stare at you, you feel like they can see right through you.
Alright, so I'd ask, what do you want? But given that you have mentioned my dope backflip that I did right before fucking up whatever that Warforged thing was, I take it that this wasn't necessarily part of the plan, if you had one.
You don't know anything about my plans, darling, but what I can tell you is that you thought you walked away from that wreckage, Tommy. But you didn't just walk away. You brought me with you. And now I see through your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin, and you feel as these, like, goosebumps just rise on your arms, and the back of your neck. I can taste that metallic taste as you panic. I know you. Every ugly little truth. Like how you're convinced the leaders of this city aren't real. Just illusions, puppets, except for one, of course.
I've never seen any of them in person, that's completely valid.
And I will whisper to them too. You think the misuse of health potions will burn out the liver?
Hey, the science behind health potions is very new. Nobody knows what they haven't been passed through any type of federal sort of agency.
So naive. But every time you pour one down your throat, you will question its truth. That's me growing bold, Tommy. I will make you question everything.
Alright, well, you are right about one thing. I don't know dick about your plans. I don't know dick about a lot of things. I kind of dropped out of school before you were even supposed to be able to do that. But, for lack of a better term, yeah, I kind of brought you back. So what, is there a return policy? Can I just kind of go back in there, say some fancy words or something? You go back to the deep dark pits of Taliva, or hell, whichever one you prefer.
Neither. And I'm very sorry to tell you, but there's no return policy on me. And you kind of watch as the scene around you changes. And what you see is this city. A water source. A fountain. These people gathered around it. And it's almost like picturesque in nature. You can tell that this is some sort of almost painting that someone's done. Doesn't feel real, but it looks it. You say you don't know anything, but I'm willing to share some. So let's talk about the water, Tommy, and how they drink oh so eagerly. A child cupping their hands. Two lovers sharing a drink. A politician raising a glass. Sip by sip, they invite me in. Unaware, devout, and eventually mine. I'm in their current, in their circuits. I'm in the core of everything. They build a world, and how fun it would be to watch it fall.
I'd rather not. We're very high up. If the kind of fallen thing happens, that's not good for anybody, specifically me, and if you're hitching a ride with me, probably not good for you either, as far as I'm aware.
I can survive the drop. You, however, may not.
Survived one heck of a fall once.
Twice is tempting fate, and I won't let that happen. In fact, I think it would be fun to watch you fall a second time. And you feel as the ground beneath you just disappears. And you begin to plummet. Just in darkness.
Make an attack roll with my biker's chain at this individual, similar to the Great Erase a little over a year ago.
Sweet.
Probably not gonna work, but we're gonna try. All we can do is try. Okay, alright. Plus whip stuff. Hot shit, that's 21.
As you strike out at this figure, you feel as though you hit something, but what you hit is just this puff of blue energy that just disappears. And this figure is gone. But you can still feel that sharp pain in your mind. And almost like someone is standing right behind you, your left shoulder. The ground forms beneath you once more. And there's this realization that you were never actually falling. Just felt like you were. You, Tommy. You think you can have freedom. Maybe you think that bike gives it to you. But what happens when it stops listening. And when the engine stalls with my breath in its lungs. And those other things you fear. And you feel around your ankles as these snakes begin to curl up your legs. This hissing and rattling noise echoing within your mind. Next time you won't see them at first. Just a flicker at the edge of your vision. A hiss in the silence. Something coiling behind your eyes when you try to sleep. You feel this pain as they start to constrict around you.
Okay. Self-imposed wisdom saving throw. Because for the viewers, Tommy hates snakes. And rightfully so. That's a 9.
It's almost like, as that happens, you then look down in panic and there are these smaller snakes coiling around your arms, almost encompassing and engulfing your entire body. And there is nothing you can do to stop it.
Assuming that my new skullmate, as I'll refer to them from now on, is kind of going through what Tommy is kind of thinking at this point. That it, much like you said, cannot do anything. Like, it feels tight around the legs, can't, like, going up the body, can't do anything. And feeling this with sort of a shuddering breath as his hand moves shakily, Tommy says, "Well, said that I shouldn't tempt fate twice. I got a wee bit of news for you," as he pulls out his hand crossbow and sticks it under his own chin. "I make my own fate, and I'm going to pull the trigger."
Yeah, cool. As you do, you feel this bolt that's under your chin absolutely pierce your jaw up through the top of your skull. And you feel that split second of pain before it completely dissipates once again. And this environment around you shifts, and you are just in a simple stone-walled room, and this figure stands before you once more, approaches, these long, almost pointed fingernails clasp at your throat, digging deep within the skin. You feel them pierce your flesh. "Here's the thing, darling. You did choose your own fate. And you chose me. You collided with me. And now you get to live with me inside you forever. Not a savior, not a hero. Just a haunted boy with some glass in his blood." And you look around and you look down on this place that you know very well. Like you're watching from above. They have no idea. But soon they'll forget there was ever a world without me. And you'll be the first to witness it. One drop, one pulse, and one breath at a time, Tommy.
Lucky me. So what, that's the end game? You in everybody's head?
Well, let's find out together, shall we? And you feel these nails pull at the skin of your throat as if your entire throat is being pulled out. And as you do, the dream around you fades.
waking up, sitting up straight immediately, like one does, gasping for breath, hands immediately going to the throat. Just kind of blinking repeatedly, eyes adjusting to the room around him,
The
rather
bed
than
is soaking wet.
God, I hope that's sweat.
So we're going to go ahead and slide on over and follow Lemon as he crosses town by himself to his meeting with the president of the university. She's only ever had one name that anyone has known about, and that is Lilith. So President Lilith is who you are going to meet with of Tauliva University. You ask around for a minute, and they eventually send you to this very tall, like 12-story tower. And when you go inside, you enter into a fairly standard-looking office reception area. And there is a very dark-skinned male dwarf sitting behind the desk, full-on braided hair all the way back, and the braids are then braided into a long set of hair, and then his beard is braided in that very, honestly, the same fucking way. It's just braided again, and he's got little bits and bob trinkets in there, and his rust-colored eyes look at you. Yes.
Yes, I'm here to see the president. You should say I'm on the list, Lemon Little Tart.
Pulls out a planner from inside his jacket pocket. Lemon Little Tart at Amalgamation 19.
Amy.
Where's Amy?
Yes. Amy had some other errands to run. We're spread a bit thin these days.
Interesting. Well, this
Will
way.
that be a problem? I have a familiar here who could take her place.
The familiars don't matter.
All right.
They do not count as sentient entities that take notes and would care about the information.
Kumquat looks sad. It's okay, Kumquat. It's fine. Don't worry, he doesn't know you.
Well, right this way. He stands up from behind the desk, hops down, because the desk was built for a regular person, hops down off his chair, walks to the door, opens, it's just a plain wooden door, opens it up, and you see a closet. Enter.
Closet?
Yes. This will take you to where you need to go.
For me. Is this a lion witch in the wardrobe situation? Canonically exists in Tauliva now.
Yes, it is. It's very similar to that. It's just going. There's a teleportation circle, and he points to the floor where there's painted runes.
All right.
It will take you to the top where her office is.
Okay. Lemon nods, and Kumquat vanishes to that little pocket dimension that familiars go to.
That's why they don't matter. As he just goes back to sit in his chair.
I am going to cast... or am I going to cast Enlarge Reduce and reduce them for reducing... I'm not going to, no. I step on the transportation circle.
His eyes glow that rust color as the runes light up that same color, and you just teleport up, and you are staring at the doorway to Lilith's office. I'm going to go ahead and let the person playing Lilith describe her office and how they get in and all that.
So what you see is a door made of a thick purple wood with a beautiful golden filigree pattern. You'll notice that there are no knockers, or no knobs, just knockers.
Sorry, when you say knockers, I think ghouls.
That is par for course for this show. It's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. If you'd like to take a closer look, you'll notice a little special pet door that is roughly the size of a cat or a dog. Small dog. The doors open by themselves if you knock.
Lemon knocks.
As Lemon knocks on the door, we're going to go ahead and slide back on over to the bookshop and check in on Aina this morning.
Do you still have the necklace I gave you?
Of course. And she will get it out of her pack, as she hasn't been able to bring herself to wear it, but she doesn't want to get rid of it. And she holds it out.
His long fingers, not like eerily long, but long fingers, seem to grab this vial, and he stares at it, and you can see, just for a moment, that youthful Raphael that you once knew some time ago, even though, again, not much time seemed to have passed for you. And you see him uncork the top, and he blows within it. And as he does, there is a ever-flowing or ever-glowing mote of flame that sits within, and he recorks it. And he gives it back. Mechanically, I have something that I didn't think about it, so it makes sense. As a white witch, you now have a talisman of protection. Whenever you make a saving throw, you get to add a d4.
What?
I was not planning on making this a gift, but it made sense now.
Sure did.
I'm adding that to my notes right now on my character sheet.
On the chance that the flame goes out, it shouldn't. But if it does, it would just mean that the power within doesn't sit. But do not fret, another can be made. Also, Draven, around your neck, again, like a cat, suddenly goes. You see him almost like regurgitating something, and then a small obsidian stone falls out of his mouth. And as it's caught, if you need to find me, this is part of a gate to my home. If you were to go there, you would be confused, but things would make sense afterwards.
Thank you. If there's anything I can do to help you with this, I will.
You see his hands, again, kind of flick, and those papers, those notes that you gave him reappear. Look at him. Eyes scanning. To be quite honest, I came to this bookshop hoping for something, maybe a electricity for dummies or something. This will be more than useful.
I don't know how the electricity works either. It doesn't make sense.
I am a hermit. I stay within the ancient grove. I don't do this at all. You see, he kind of coughs a little bit. Not sick, not anything to worry about. Again, just 2,000 years old.
As you guys are talking about the power and the electricity for dummies, in the room across the street outside, everything goes dark as power cuts out. Back over at Cass's house, things are working just a little bit differently. After a minute, The door busts wide open. Jedediah comes in. Tommy, I heard you screaming. Are you okay?
You know what, Jed? I don't think so. And kind of just like pats him on the shoulder, stands up, and Tommy goes to the bathroom to vomit in the sink.
Fantastic. I'll go get you a glass of water. Don't you worry. And he goes to, to get a glass of water. If you don't mind,
something, Zura, we got alcohol in here. Cass has to have alcohol, right?
Yeah, you want a margarita? I'll make you another one.
Nah, just straight. Whatever it is, straight.
Alright. He's yelling from the kitchen at this point.
Good for him.
As you are vomiting over the tub.
Even as you're awake, there is this sharp pain in your head that you can just feel like an echo of what you felt within your dream.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of feels like I see it as feeling like a cat eating your brain. Claws out, just massage. And as you're nestled over the toilet, Jedediah walks in with a bottle of vodka.
Good man.
If I've been looking on that Towtech search engine thing, I think I might be able to figure out how to make more if you want some. I hear it's potato based.
Probably not a bad idea, Jed.
Alright. He chugs it and he's like, by the way, careful or this will lead to more to more of the that vomiting.
Yeah, no. We're just gonna end basically uses it as mouthwash, at least at first, and then says, all right, Jed, I'll be all right. You, the fuck time is it?
Oh, it's noon.
Shit. All right.
Oh yeah, Aina and Lemon already left, and so did Amy. She said something about cousins or siblings. Her family is fucking weird.
Yeah. We're not gonna get into that right now. All right, Jed. You go ahead and whatever it was you were doing, as long as it doesn't burn down Cass's apartment.
Well, I should probably stop the potato battery then. As he goes to unplug the potato battery, leaving you alone with your thoughts once more. What thoughts are going through Tommy's mind at this exact second?
Like I said, literally rinses his mouth out for a few times and then actually takes a swig of the vodka, which, despite his outward appearance, Tommy normally doesn't start his day with alcohol. But somebody mentioned something about the water, so kind of has that moment, takes a swig, looks back down, takes a deep breath, and then kind of I think you said toilet, but in my head it was sink, turns the water on to kind of flush the bits down and looks up into the mirror and just kind of checks out his eyes for a second and all the kind of normal shit that you would do after such a terrifying event.
Roll a perception check for me. DC 17. 17 or higher, and I'm gonna let something happen.
Canonically, I haven't taken away the frightened condition. Definitely not a 17. That's an 11.
Okay. You think you see that face in the mirror? The same type of hallucination as if you did the Bloody Mary. You think you see it for just a second, but you convince yourself that it's just residual. But there's one more message left in the tank. And with that, I'm gonna let Emily go ahead and introduce who you are as well, and give a fond farewell to Tommy for that moment.
Hey, I'm Emily. You can find me over at Hexes and Vexes. Tonight, you can find me in Tommy's Nightmares. And Tommy, as you're looking at your reflection, the last thing you hear, once again, like they're standing right behind you, and for a moment you could swear that you feel breath against your ear. You hear, "Knock knock, is anyone home?"
And with that, the lights were on. Jed was out there baking, and then next thing you know, power is cut. There is total pitch darkness, except your reflection has a slight blue, pale outline staring back at you. And Jedediah is out in the kitchen going, "What the fuck just happened here?" And with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and check back in with our good friend Lemon Little Tart as he enters the office of the university president.
So the doors kind of creak as they open, and what you were greeted with is a large round office with floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. It's clean and orderly. On one side of the room, there's a little reading nook, complete with a lounge sofa, a stained glass lamp, and a self-playing harp. Towards the furthest point in the room sits a desk. This desk is handcrafted out of the same purple wood with a very similar filigree pattern. On top of the desk lies a gold-plated cat skeleton. You get the feeling it's sleeping.
With that feeling, Lemon flies instead of walks to maximize quietness. Yeah. And speaks in almost in like a lower voice. Hello, I have an appointment. May I come in?
The skeleton just kind of rolls and goes, "Meow."
Oh, goodness. Okay, I don't have to be quiet anymore. Yes, I'm here to see Lilith. Are you Lilith? Or Lilith's familiar? Or...
It looks at you, then seemingly looks past you as you hear clicking of heels across a marble floor.
Oh, Lemon quickly snaps around and instinctively flies higher up in the air to get that vantage point.
As Lilith enters the room, she glides across the floor. She's confident, graceful, and keeps her head held high. She roughly stands at 5'8", but with heels on, she's about 6 foot. Waves of thick, snowy white hair flow down around shoulders of porcelain skin that seem to glow. Lilith, for all intents and purposes, is unnaturally beautiful. She is both unsettling and alluring, much like a predator. She's wearing full-length black gloves with a full-length black silk dress with a slit up the side of a leg, revealing a very interesting tattoo. It is a silvery rose with thorny vines wrapping around the leg. She walks past you and you see massive pitch black wings resting behind her. Most notably, her shadow stretches longer than it should, with inky black tendrils that sprout in her wake. The room grows cold, dark, and dimmer. What was once light and airy now feels very heavy and crowded. She takes a seat at her desk before addressing you.
Now that Lilith has been introduced, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Misfit.
The tone change. Baller ass tone change, just dark, oppressive. Ha!
Hi, it's me, a Misfit.
And go ahead and tell people where they can find you and all that kind of stuff too.
Literally everywhere, Misfit_Playland. literally everywhere as Misfit_Playland. Find me! Come follow me! I got a lot of crap going on.
Okay. And that figure just walked in, Lemon, and sat behind her desk.
Lemon always wears this bomber jacket. Just clothes in general that are too big for his figure. So he looks bulkier since he is a fairy, a small-sized fairy. And in this moment, another use of this is apparent because he's shivering almost in reaction. He very clearly recognizes this power, recognizes he always tries to be careful, even if I, Mika, don't always roleplay it that way, because I am not a detective. I don't have those kinds of smarts, but this is hiding his nervousness, his respect, his fight or flight. Markedly just not fight or flight, but flight and fawn. Deer come the headlights. Already going through his head how he could escape, even knowing it might be futile. And this is all going through his head in just a matter of seconds before he collects himself. And he asks, "May I approach your desk?"
Oh, why, yes, please take a seat. And she points to her desk, and as she points to her desk, seemingly out of nowhere, the gold filigree twists and turns and makes a tiny little chair.
Yeah, Lemon flies over and carefully sits in the chair.
Her cat, Percifer,
Beautiful.
comes up and kind of like,
May I?
please.
And Lemon pets Percifer.
You now have a permacat head on you.
Nice.
Just chilling. Making
I
bees.
do have a +7 to animal handling, so
Oh yeah, she's totally making bees.
don't know why I have a +7 to animal handling. Like, oh, 6 7 druid, that's why. That makes sense.
So what is it that I can do for you? I do not see your companion.
No. We are spread a bit thin, and so she is off elsewhere currently. I just had a few questions I would like to ask you.
Please.
I hope this won't take up too much of your time.
No, I scheduled out some time for us, yes.
Thank you. First of all, what can you tell me about the disappearance of the Dean?
It's a troubling matter, I will admit, seeing as he is one of my hand-picked subordinates. But I do not know much more than that. I do, however, have a thing that I can do to track him. And at that, her desk, the top sort of opens and slides down and pulls up a map. And she takes a small, thin, sterling silver needle, pricks her finger, and lets a singular drop hit the map. And she will do an incantation. She will recite some words. It's very magical and pretty. I did not plan for this. She goes, "May the blood find him, and may he be safe."
And what color is that drop of Lilith's blood?
Lilith's blood is ruby red, and it sparkles. It's got like a shimmer to it, kind of like Mika powder or like mica powder. When you put that into stuff, that's kind of what it looks like.
Okay. So this drop of blood aerates as it hits, swirls around the map. The map, I'm assuming, was a map of Taoliva, the city.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts to coalesce and form over the cleric district. He's still
Lilith
in the city.
Will pull out a pen and paper, and her pen is this giant, fancy peacock feather monstrosity of a pen, and writes down the address, for lack of a better descriptor, the address, the building, and some of the people who work in that building to help. And she folds it up, and you see it kind of glow in an inky blackness for a moment. It kind of gets swallowed and then comes out, and it's this teeny tiny piece of paper that is perfectly lemon-sized.
The name was written down, Lemon, as all that was happening, you managed to catch what she was writing. The House of Torm, Father Valen, and then as the paper started shrinking, she was writing the last name. So you didn't catch what the last name was, but Father Valen and the House of Torm.
Ooh, and I have already been to the House of Torm, have I not?
Sure as hell have.
Yep. Okay.
Huh?
Sweet, cool. There's a grimace on Lemon's face.
I hope everything is alright.
It's not, but that's fine. I don't suppose you could teach me that spell.
I don't think you have the appropriate blood for that spell.
That's fair. Now, another question. Do you know anything about Taoliva's magnetic pole shifting?
She kind of loses composure for a moment. A darkness flashes across her face, and then she just pinches the bridge of her nose. No, I don't know much. It is not my area. That is a government thing. That is an invention thing. I do not know. I don't. But I could probably put you in contact with people who would know.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Yet again, she writes down all pertinent information that she knows, because having someone else deal with the problems is advantageous for her.
So,
and once again folds up the piece of paper and makes it small.
the only name you catch before she finishes writing that you recognize isn't the name. It's the title of the person. CEO of Tautech.
Oh boy.
And the name is Solarian, but it's not one you've actually met or encountered yet yourself. But Solarian, CEO of Tautech, is the only name on there that you even remotely recognize, but there are two other names. One is the head of the government district, and the other is the head of the invention district, which is not the CEO of Tautech.
I feel like this is, in video games sometimes it's just got the list of questions you just kind of have to go through them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Eldritch Abomination that is at the center of the city?
No. Unfortunately, that was brought to my attention because people thought it was me. Could you believe that? They thought it was me.
On the one hand, no. On the other, based on your presence, and this is with the utmost respect and admiration, Yes. And I am a little bit jealous. I must have, myself, in my line of work, 0 presence. But I greatly admire the presence you bring with you.
It is learned, and you could learn it too.
It would be a detriment to my work, unfortunately.
Do you benefit from being small?
Indeed I do. About 3.5 feet. I can fly. It's very convenient for observing.
And what do you do?
I'm a private investigator.
Oh, I should keep you on payroll.
I would never say no to the extra funds.
She taps her perfectly manicured nails on her desk. Tell you what, if you figure out what is going on with this eldritch horror and take care of that little problem for me, you will have a permanent job.
Lemon feels like this is just so convenient because he's gonna look into it anyway. Deal.
And she, sticks out her long, black, perfectly manicured nail for you to shake.
Excellent. I mean, he's not that small. He could shake her hand.
Okay.
Okay. Actually,
cool.
What size? Yeah, he's about 3.5 feet tall.
You're shaking a finger.
Wait, how big is Lilith?
She's 5'8". She's a tall lady.
Okay. No, yeah,
okay.
No, you're right. His hand would be kind of
Tiny.
I don't know. It's like a hobbit shaking Gandalf's hand,
So she offers a hand, and we'll just wait for a shake or something.
Yeah, he shakes it the best he can. Yeah. Oh, that's right. 'Cause you're wearing heels. You're about 6 foot. So after the shake, Lemon says, "I have 1, maybe 2 more questions, if you can spare the time. One of them, do you know anything about the crystals that popped up in town earlier?"
I know that they were not supposed to pop up where they popped up. Something is going on with the invention people. Say, they are an interesting bunch.
I've been looking into them, and I agree, they are indeed an interesting bunch. Well, then you probably don't know. My follow-up question. A friend of mine, an associate, had a bit of a run-in with those crystals, and it mutated him. And I was hoping you might know something about that as well.
Mutated how?
Eric, I'm going to defer to you on this.
So what has happened to Tommy is his skin has gotten just a rougher texture.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only visible physical manifestation that's happened. Aside
Anything
from
else?
that, he's starting to hear. He woke up this morning hearing voices. A voice, not voices. One voice.
A singular voice.
A singular voice.
Okay. Lilith taps her nails on the desk again, thinking, contemplating. And he is only hearing one voice, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it could be a few things. My best guess, or my best advice, would be to go talk to the head of the Wild Magic District. Or What it sounds like to me is maybe the crystals hold a curse. And if that is the case, then your friend is probably cursed.
Oh, excellent.
But I do not know what they are doing with those crystals.
Here I am, nowhere near strong enough to be able to break the curse.
As Lemon puts his hand in his head and utters those words, what little light is in Lilith's office goes down. Your map has like blue threads that light up and then immediately collapse, and the map is gone. It was a pseudo-digital paper map.
She once again pinches the bridge of her nose, like, oh god, what are they doing to my city?
And a bat flies in the window, turns into a person,
Yes?
and is a 3-foot-tall halfling. Deep brown skin, jet black hair, golden eyes, with fangs. Madam.
Yes?
We've been monitoring the wild magic and clerical district for some time for you. And these crystals that just popped up 3 days ago, there are increased numbers of a specific type of issue that people are reporting into the hospital.
Let me guess. Their skin is getting weird and they are hearing voices?
Yes? That's interesting. Looks over at Lemon. It was
You are a
unaware of
little
your
late on
company.
your information. I do not hold it against you.
There are over 200 cases.
Today?
Yes.
Oh my.
None yesterday and 200 today.
Oh my.
And all from residents of the Wild Magic and Clerical District. The government is already beginning to quarantine the area. I did manage to get you a single pass as the head of the academic district. And he hands you a badge that says allowed through quarantine. That is just an allowed through quarantine badge with your name on it.
On that, Lilith looks to Lemon. If you excuse me, I must go deal with a problem. However, I like you. You have not disappointed me, and I don't say that often. I welcome you to pick any book from my bookshelves. She's got thousands of books in there.
And while Lemon goes to look for books, he does pull you down closer and whispers in your ear. There is another issue. The entire city is experiencing a citywide blackout. I need Lemon to roll a perception check with your back, because your back is turned as you're hearing this exchange, but Lilith can go ahead and respond.
It was a 21.
Oh, you're hearing this 100% then?
Well, she gracefully stands up. If you excuse me, I am so sorry our meeting got cut short. I have to go deal with preparations for Founders Day. And on that, she will walk out through these beautiful sheer black curtains onto a balcony and just jump off the side, and her wings stretch out and she just flies. Because sometimes it's nice to fly.
Yeah, yes.
Even though it's middle of the day, it's perfectly happy to do it. Plus, power's out, so it makes it a little harder
No
to
light
detect.
pollution.
Yeah. So the second, the one who just brought the information, is still there. Lemon, I'm gonna have you roll an insight check real quick on Lilith to see if you can tell that what level of deceit she was performing. I mean, it's obvious she was lying, but
That's a 13, but I'm going to spend a luck point
okay.
to roll again. Insight. Oh my gosh, that was worse. I'm going to spend another luck point.
Lucky is the best feat you could ever take.
There we go.
do
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. You know, based on two things. A, the direction she headed. And B, the fact that there is not technically a council meeting scheduled today. Doesn't mean couldn't be an emergency one that's being called and all that. Possibly. But the public calendar, there is not one for today. But you know power's out. And preparations for Founders Day are still underway. And you know that you just heard him say the entire city's power is out. It looks like she was headed up to the Invention District, not to the Governmental District where the council holds their meetings.
Excellent. And with that, should I roll for a book?
You can absolutely roll for book.
Roll for book.
Well, I mean, like, do I get like a tome of something rather to up one of my stats?
You very well might roll for book.
What am I rolling? D20 or?
Let's do an investigation check.
Yeah, do you have anything that you're looking for specifically?
That's another thing. Is there a specific
you just
topic?
offered a book, so
All of the books. She's got so many books.
So I'm thinking maybe the Demonomicon. If not that, then something up on my stats.
She has a first edition. It's minted in silver and black. It's black leather with silver on it.
A 21.
Ooh, 21. Okay. You do find a +2 to a book that'll give you +2 to one stat.
Can I do one of each?
I can let you do a +1 to 2 stats. Yes.
Okay.
It basically is an ASI book. You also find right below that on your way up, you see a very dusty book, but it is the founding documentation on Taliva and the beginning histories of this city. So you find 2 books. And she's not here to stop you, so it's up to you whether you piss her off and take 2, or if you just take the one like she said. So you get a choice.
I want to piss her off because I would
Take
like
it.
a nice steady
Take the
job.
book.
Take the book. Yeah, I'm taking the book.
It's like whispering to you. Take the book. Take me. You know you want me. I'm chock full of information.
I take the book.
And the second in command, the guy who the messenger. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. The messenger is like, have you found something you would like?
Yes, indeed I have.
Do you have a way down? Because the way up was partially electronic and is therefore not working at the moment.
I'll go out the window.
Okay. As he walks backwards and just takes a step backwards off the rail himself and just drops, heading back towards like the Wild Magic District.
Nice.
Which way is Lemon heading when you're flying out of here?
I guess, back towards everyone else.
And Lemon, Lilith, as the pair of you are flying across the city in your respective directions, you see total, unadulterated chaos as lights are out. Technology across the city is inoperable. Lemon, you see, in particular, you see that the docking mechanisms are frozen halfway to mooring with a ship, with an airship. There's an airship that's only half docked, and as you look over towards the Cleric and Wild Magic District, you see that the Arcano crystals that are growing out of the ground, that huge one, right? That huge Arcano crystal is pulsing a pale blue. And likewise, up at the power plant, Lilith, you see that the power company, normally there are sparks of electricity all through the power company's main building because it also operates as a power generator. But the electricity that you normally would see over there is not there. There's no power getting to anything in the city. But there's also no sirens. The only sound you hear is the sound of chaos and people screaming. Hello, heroes! Eric here. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Somebody's Heroes. If you did, be sure to follow us over on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss the latest chapter. Got a favorite moment, a fan theory, or just something to say about the episode? We would love to hear from you in the comments. And we hope that you'll join us next Tuesday as we march closer to the fall of Taliva.